Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 754, Geeks in Space. I'm Rob, Commander Taco Malda, and I am, unsurprisingly, joined today by Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
And Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Gentlemen, it's Friday. Yay.
I'm ready for it to be Friday.
Yeah.
Truth
Well,
be told.
Congratulations. It is.
Yeah. I was telling you earlier, I woke up at 3 a.m., so I did not sleep last night.
Yeah.
I am probably going to fall asleep 5 minutes after we get off of this chat. Let's see. I don't know if we talked about the melting 4090s last time.
We did.
But the follow-up on that now is there actually has been several YouTubers who've talked about what's going on. And essentially it looks like the dongle doesn't have enough of the pins wired up. There are some dongles that are good and some dongles that aren't. And
It's bad QC on the dongle?
I think it was a bad decision on the production. So that it's like you can use, like they showed videos of like the pins, the wires wired into like the plate, because like 4 of those pins like merge, they I don't know. I can send you the video, but the dongles look to be the issue, which is, I guess, the best case scenario there, because, you know, replacing a couple bucks worth of dongle is a lot less of a problem than replacing your $2,000 GPU that you've been waiting 2 years for. But that's where it's at.
So what I'm looking for is the wire gauge of these guys here. Then they mate with their pin.
Yep.
And those mating positions have to be done crimped appropriately and preferably soldered.
Yeah, they're soldered.
But yeah, if there's the mating point, like they say.
So the video that I sent, that I can send you, it has like he actually shows a couple of different ones, and the wire gauge is on a couple of different ones and a couple of different ways that they're breaking. But it looks like basically NVIDIA might have cheaped out on the dongle there. They should have had a little bit different configuration for the wires. But I mean, all things considered, that's the least bad outcome from this, right? You know, you can mail a million new dongles out, and it's not the end of the world. It's a very expensive card. They should have got it ahead of hand, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a weird, very basic error, you know?
It is, but the flip side to it, I think, is that we've never really had commercial GPUs drawing this much juice. That's a new connector. It's in weird competition because that thing is like a dongle to bring together 3 PCIe power connectors, and there's also a new standard where you just can run it straight through and not have to deal with any of that. It's kind of like a perfect storm of like, this is not a problem 2 years from now or 4 years from now, because the power supplies will start having the plug by default. So they probably didn't test it as much as maybe they should have, because this is an intermediate problem. But yeah, oops.
Boy, this is weird, isn't it? I mean, so currently most of our video cards have 2 8s or 2 6s, right?
I think there's so many variables, right? There's an 8 plus 6, and there's 2 8s, and there's
I'm trying to remember what I got on this guy.
Mine's 3 8s.
What are you running? What video card?
I have a 3080.
Oh, because you're fancy. Look, GC Zen. We're here with Rob Malda. He's got a 3080.
You saw my rig. It's ridiculous.
It's kind of ridiculous. I'll give you that.
It turns out it turns out if you have 2 years to build a computer and you eventually replace every single part trying to figure out why it's crashing, you end up with a pretty good computer at the other end of that.
I'll give you that.
So James Gunn got a new job.
So he's not doing Disney stuff, I guess.
Right. Isn't it weird that there's 2 movie studios? So he has been.
So you have 2 stories.
One came from they came from 2 different places. Doesn't matter.
They both have the same stuff.
It's the same content. I have a procedure where if I mark it to my favorites list in my RSS reader, it automatically posts, and I don't always remember when I do that because it's clicking a button and I do it in a millisecond, and then I later on posted it from somewhere
It's
else.
fine. We'll allow it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Or you could just like ridicule me for posting dupes. Like dupe. I've never heard nobody's ever criticized me for that in my entire life, so I'm not at all sensitive about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, James Gunn is the new co-CEO of DC Film and Television. He's the creative co, and then there's another
According
fellow.
to the Honey Boo Boo guy.
Yeah, right. And then the other co is the business guy. So, hey, I guess maybe so in theory, I guess he's now Kevin Feige's equivalent.
Yeah. I don't know. The DC movies have all been pretty, comparable to.
They've been good though. Peacemaker.
Yeah.
The second Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
they're fine. They're fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Peacemaker's great. But their animation, DC's animation is terrific.
Yeah, Harley
Whoever
Quinn
was
is
running
great.
that is doing a really good. Even their full-length animated movies about different characters are really good.
And what's crazy to me about those is how many of them there are, and how that pipeline is very efficient. Like it feels like every 3 or 4 months there's a new one just popping out.
Oh wow! I mean, looking at Peter Safran's background, who can forget the Flatliners reboot?
I can.
Oh, such a good one.
I can.
All I'll say is this guy. Say what you will about him, he doesn't not work. I mean, we've got like a zillion things that he's worked on as a producer or executive producer for the last 20 years. So I think he's a work-a-day, I'm gonna get it done kind of fella. So if you pair him up with someone like Gunn, maybe it works.
I'm hoping.
He was on Shazam as a producer. He was on the Suicide Squad and its sequel, and I mean, he was on the one with James Gunn. He was on Peacemaker as a producer.
He's been around for a while. I mean,
but he's also attached to Aquaman, and that was kind of crappy.
I liked Aquaman. I'm not telling you it's
only one.
That's not true. It made almost $1 billion.
Well, this is the thing, right? It's like we can't forget.
I'm fully in the Aquaman wasn't that bad camp. So strangely, I'm with you.
In comparison, in comparison with the other DC movies, it wasn't that bad, and it doesn't change the fact that they've made billions from like Man of Steel.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I'm gonna like it.
That's true.
Even though I think Henry Cavill's a very compelling fella.
I didn't actually post it, but he's confirmed that he's coming back for another Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I think he's a great Superman.
More Witcher. I want Witcher.
That's fair.
I want anything Henry Cavill except for. I just don't. Although honestly, having him at the end of Shazam, even though it was just like his torso and probably wasn't even him.
It wasn't. Cool. It was the stunt double.
It was a stunt double. Yeah.
It was his stunt double. It was the guy who's usually the stunt double. I don't know. I think James Gunn is. I'm not going to say
he's a fine choice.
I'm not going to say he's a do no wrong, but you go and look through his discography. Go watch every movie he's directed. Every movie he's directed that at least that is coming to mind is, even if they're not all masterpieces, they all have something cool.
Yeah. How long until he turns into Tim Burton? That's my question. Like we were talking about with Taika Waititi.
Maybe, but I mean, he's done a lot of different stuff. Like, I know his Guardians of the Galaxy tone is kind of his shtick, but if you watch some of his other stuff, he can go a lot darker.
I'm sorry, Peacemaker was genius.
Yeah. No, I just want.
And also Sergeant Kabuki, man. I mean, this is Romeo and Juliet. I mean, come on.
Oh, who can forget that?
Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 one. That was good, man.
Yeah, he wrote that one. He didn't direct it.
You forget, Dawn of the Dead, it was a Zack Snyder thing with him writing, with George Romero. I mean, this was a good version. I mean,
okay, so Slither is totally worth watching.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Slither is great.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Slither, see Slither.
Yeah, it's wild. Super is really messed up and worth a watch. He's done a couple others that are back in his writing catalog too.
I don't know what this is, but I want to see it. The Human Z. Human Z. It's chimpanzee human TV show.
Looks like they only got one episode.
Nope, one episode. We're never going to see it again.
Nope.
But Dolphin Man battles the sex lobsters. Haven't seen that either.
Yeah, that's on. I don't know. I think the guy is crazy talented, and he's done some weird stuff. And the breadth of his work, he has done straight up horror. He has done basically straight up comedy. No, and he's proven that he knows what he's doing with the DC universe.
He's great.
So if they give him the control and enough money,
will DC screw it up? Will Zaslav screw it up?
No, they'll make a whole bunch of movies that do really well, and then eventually they'll pigeonhole themselves, and someone else will come along.
Yeah. And then whenever you make anything that's outside of your form, the internet hates you because Eternals is boring, and She-Hulk is too silly.
It was a little silly.
And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is awful.
It wasn't good.
So there's like one picture from the new Fallout show. So that's happening now. It's just
honestly, this could be the video game. This could be outside of the 33, which is not a vault from the games. This could be from any of the video games. And also, he has a high collar, this fella here, which I thought was weird. I was like, why does he have such a high collar? Did he have like a neck problem?
Probably.
Is it the vault with the neck problems?
I heard that he threw his suitcase in rage at an airport, and so now he has to wear a neck brace.
Yeah, he's got the extra support of the collar there.
Yeah. What a jerk!
Oh, so much rage. I mean, did you see the Karen on the internet when they TikToked it?
Wait, what?
I'm imagining somebody getting rageful in an airport and then being captured surreptitiously. With a cell phone and then uploaded to TikTok, and then it shows up a day or two later on Reddit.
Well, I thought you were talking about the gal at Meta who did the TikTok about her day at Meta, and then when Meta had its bad quarter, everyone pointed at the TikTok as to why.
That's funny.
Like, first, I go to work, and then I get a coffee, and I try to look cute, and it's like and I'm like, I'm like that poor program manager, product manager. So.
Well, I hope something comes of that show, but there's nothing to really talk about. It's nice that it's actually happening. Elon Musk apparently now
wait. Oh, is he the SpaceX guy?
Yeah, the SpaceX guy.
Oh.
No, the PayPal guy.
He makes flamethrowers, right?
Yeah, the flamethrower maker.
He had that weird company that was digging the sewer tunnels, and he was trying to send cars down it. Was that guy?
Yeah. He was the guy who just wanted to dig a big hole. He just likes to, who doesn't like to just dig a big hole?
Sure.
I mean, he just bought a big hole.
Wait, didn't he though?
Yeah, so it's
official. There a story about this?
Yeah, it's on the list. Elon Musk completes Twitter takeover. Actually, it's got a icon next to it.
It's just different because you and Rob always use different views for whatever reason. I'm looking at the stories for the day.
Yeah.
One of you is always new, one of you is hot.
And we switch.
You should decide which one we're going to use.
There we go.
Actually, you know what? It might not show up because it's got a little no icon. I wonder if it got deleted. Oh, I see. It's an Apple News story.
You know what? It doesn't matter. We all know what it says.
Right.
Elon Musk is hanging around Twitter now, being a pain in the butt.
Apparently,
it's not going to change anything.
He fired a lot of people already.
Did he fire people?
The CEO and the CFO are gone.
Yeah, they were going to exit as part of the package anyway.
Sure.
Their biggest problem is they probably threw out their shoulder carrying all that cash.
Yeah,
front door.
Money is Elon is notorious for paying people in gold bullion.
No, I mean I think the various payouts across the board and the CEO and the CFO were something in the order of 40 to 10 to 3 million, depending on, because like there were some board members who really weren't very active, and so like the floor is like $3 million for walking away, and I'm like, that sounds like a pretty good payout.
That's real money, not Tesla bucks.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not Zuck bucks. It's not Deem. It's not Wow Gold.
Metamula.
Yeah, it's not Tesla refer cash.
But he's gonna turn Twitter into an NFT platform. So
no. He's gonna turn it into the everything app, Rob. You know how we're broadcasting over YouTube. No one's going to be using YouTube anymore.
No,
they're not going to use Google. They're not going to use
Mhm.
hell. They're not going to use the phone. And iPhone's over, Apple's over. It's all going to be Twitter.
You're going to get a Twitter phone.
You're not going to carry cash or cards anymore. It's all going to be Twitter.
You get your little Twitter pal that you set up in your house, and you say, "Twitter pal, feed me." Next thing you know,
Twitter.
food's at your house.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be fantastic.
I'm excited.
and everything you do is going to be public, and is going to have someone telling you how you're racist while you're doing it. Like if you bought a Jaffa cake in Britain, they would say you're clearly anti-Jaffa, the race in Stargate.
It would be interesting if it just cataloged all the conspiracy theories and then reported them back as if they were true. So if you asked, "Is the Earth flat?" it tells you, of course it is, and tells you why and exactly.
What are you, the kind of guy who doesn't believe in Mothman? Of course it's flat.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, CHUD will one day rise up and kill us all. There was a documentary.
No, they're not going to rise up. They live in the sewers, man. That's where they're happy there.
So I realized that I'd never seen CHUD.
I love CHUD.
I got halfway through it like a week ago and then fell asleep and have literally no idea what happens in the second half of CHUD. So I gotta dig that one back up and watch the second half because
you'll be surprised.
Oh, good. I just know that gets referenced a lot.
Yeah, well, it was sort of like the first sort of really big mainstream movie that has a lot of very common themes that you see in horror movies since it came out.
So. My rule has now become if it's referenced on Rick and Morty and I haven't seen it, I have to see it. That seems like a good cultural litmus.
Do not watch CHUD 2, Bud the CHUD.
Bud the CHUD.
Is absolutely the title of the movie. It is. Look it up. It is horrible, but CHUD is not that bad.
Not that bad. Glowing recommendation. So the world's fastest shoes. I think Rob, you posted that. When I saw the headline, I was like, "This is a joke. Like this is bullshit." And then I clicked through it. It's like, "No, this is cool, and I want that."
You want these ridiculous shoes?
Yes.
They have wheels on them.
They have wheels.
Yes, but
they're like those wheelies when we were kids.
Yes, except they're like stabilized better because they're almost as big as swim fins.
Yeah.
That supposedly you can, use them without having any sort of balance.
Each one has a 300-watt motor. Yeah.
They have a motor?
Yeah, you can go 7 miles an hour.
Yeah, until you get bogged down in the grass.
This is the part that I think is cool. It's got a little motion to lock the wheels so you can climb stairs.
Until you get drunk and forget.
And down you go.
And then down you go.
I don't know. These look really freaking fun.
They look so fun.
They look super fun. I'm into it.
Yep. And
what's going to happen though? That little motion, someone's going to do that on the stairs by accident when they toe a heel up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
And then it's going to be bad.
You think people freak out when Elon Musk's car autopilots into a kid? Wait till somebody falls face plants on a staircase with their electric shoes.
You charge them like with USB?
Ideally.
I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. I admit.
They are pretty cool. So, yeah, I would
I wonder if they're more like snowboards than skis, though. It's funny because every ski season ahead of it, I try to. Where was I? I was somewhere, and the ground was really weird and rocky and poorly paved, and the rest. And I could feel myself changing into ski mode, where you don't assume stable ground. As opposed to freak out every time.
Is that like how? Do you remember in the 80s the TV show Turbo Kid, whose magical power was to transform into a car?
Mm-hmm.
I never watched that. I thought you were talking about the Canadian one.
I like the idea of switching between Turbo Man. But the animation of his mouth going as it stretches out. I should dig that up.
That's exactly how it is for me
when you transform into ski mode.
Well, it's a mental shift. It's not a bodily shift.
Fair enough.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm not able to turn into a car.
I mean, Morty can.
I don't watch a lot of Rick or Morty, so
you're missing out.
It should be Rick or Morty, right?
I think this season of Rick or Morty might have been my favorite one. They leaned hard into sci-fi concepts
Nice.
and did a really great job. There are some episodes this season that are doing sci-fi things that I have never seen before, and good on you, man. Oh, have either of you watched The Peripheral?
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to it. Don't tell me anything.
All right, I will not spoil. I'm one episode.
Wait. Do you think it's amazingly good or just good?
I am not sold, but I am 100% watching episode 2. That's how far I am. Production design is gorgeous. It's William Gibson, so you know it's virtual reality stuff. Chloe Grace Moretz is really good in it. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Kat and I have our theories, but it's also the Westworld creative team. So
and they really redeemed themselves this latest season.
Westworld is great this season. It's very fun. But yeah, I am not convinced that I will make it through an entire season of Peripheral, but I will absolutely be watching at least an episode or two to figure out what's going on in that world, because it's really well done. Let's see, we got Saltwater moving up the Mississippi River.
Yeah, what was this?
This is Rob, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did we miss the walleye fisherman pleading not guilty?
Well, it must not be on the same view that Rob's looking at.
Sorry.
All right, fine, whatever. Well, I'm flex. It's cool.
We're chill.
I'm in my ski mode. I can adjust.
Geeks in Space is non-linear.
Geeks in Space.
Yeah, so they've been doing a lot of stories recently because in some parts of the Mississippi it's only 3 feet above sea level right now.
Wow.
And because drought is so bad, and because of that, there's so much commerce yet. There's like, just in the upper Mississippi, I can't remember the exact numbers, but something like $60 billion worth of revenue from shipping stuff. And so they're dredging the Mississippi out because the barges have to get through. Every time they do that, it lowers the water just a little bit, overall. And ocean levels are rising, so they're getting to a point where
salt's going up.
And it's ruining drinking water, it's ruining habitat, and spoiler, it's probably not going to get better.
Oh.
No.
Neither is anything else.
Hope y'all like catfish. That's all I gotta say. So,
that's a weird one. Everything about the Mississippi River that's one of those things, like, you don't know a lot about the Mississippi River, or at least I don't, but every time you learn something new about the Mississippi River, like all the watershed stuff and the basins and like all the weird stuff about how Louisiana is formed by the silt, and the different weird ecosystems that are created by it. I mean, I know the Amazon has the same thing, right? And the Nile too, but like, it's weird every time you learn stuff about this and you kind of realize, oh, we're gonna screw each of these individual things up in their own special way. We're really doomed.
And I don't think I don't think most people really appreciate just how much commerce goes up and down that river in the middle of the country. It's huge.
A sixth of our GDP. A fifth. I mean,
it's huge.
It's huge.
It's on the order of like the train systems.
I mean, it's a big deal.
Yay. Hey, we got a cat fighting a fox in front
of. I wanted a fun story for us.
Tell me the video itself is just kind of whatever. I have cats. They don't fight foxes generally, but they fight each other the same way.
So that's Larry, the Royal Mouser.
That's what I wanted to know. 10. That's an official. That's the official cat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say Larry's lucky.
Yeah. Larry's kind of lucky because the fox could have eaten him.
Absolutely.
But the fox was just like, oh, I don't know.
Look at how poofy his tail is. It's so poofy.
Oh yeah. Well, both of them. It's it's interesting because you have all of Regent's Park and I'll going from there all the way to Buckingham Palace, right? So there is actually a fair amount of wild area. I mean, it's maintained. Oh! Get him!
It's on.
Oh, nope. I'm scared. I'm a fox. Run away.
That was cool. I mean, Larry's lasted longer than like 4 prime ministers at this point. I mean, he's the real deal.
He's the goat. The coat. He's the cat of all time.
He's the cat. Oh! He's coming back. Come back. Go get him. Get him, Larry. Get him. Send him back. Send him back where he came from.
It's kind of a bummer though that he's guarding, whoever's the prime minister, because it seems to me that their selection process for prime minister is not any better, maybe even worse than our selection process for president.
Well, yeah, it's parliamentary. What are you gonna do? I thought you were gonna come down on their choice of how they select the Royal Mauser.
Oh,
which I'm not sure what the process is, but I'm sure it involves like the Queen or the King or something.
It's similar to selecting royal lettuce or prime minister lettuce.
Prime minister lettuce, yeah.
Did you
just go to the Marks and Spencer and then stick a wig on it? Yeah.
Did you see that there were a bunch of Canadian senators that were supposed to do their oath or whatever, and they're like, we aren't going to pledge allegiance to King Charles? Everybody was like, we would have we pledged allegiance to the Queen because nobody wants to piss off Grandma.
Because it was 70 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's you do. They do it like we swear on Bibles when you swear in to your government position or whatever.
Or whatever religious book you want.
Sure. But yeah, part of it, they have an oath where you swear allegiance to the Queen. And it's like, I've seen House of the Dragon. And I'm not sure that swearing allegiance to a queen is a particularly good idea.
Yeah,
I'll say, because I go to a lot of meetings in the United Kingdom, and they would often end with "God save the Queen" or "Long live the Queen" if someone was religious or not. So, and now it's literally "Long live the King," and I'm like,
no,
that's different.
That is different.
He is not as popular as she is.
No. I was really wondering if, this transition would lead to the end of the monarchy. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think it would, but
honestly,
I mean, not necessarily the end of the monarchy, but the end of it as being a big deal in a whole bunch of the other countries.
Well, it's like San Francisco's kind of when it's not a tech, if it's not a tech hub, it's a reenactment zone for the 60s, right? People want to preserve that. And the tourist draw of the monarchy and the palaces, I mean, that's real, right?
For sure.
I don't know if, because there's a payment from the government to the royal family every year, ostensibly to help maintain the grounds that are used in tourism and the rest. I don't know. It seems a little much.
There's a lot of stuff that I think about that as a little sketchy.
I do wonder what's going to survive with Charles, as opposed to what,
for sure,
everyone kind of liked Elizabeth, and in ways they kind of don't see Charles in the same manner.
Well, for sure, she was a sweet old lady. That's at least how she was accepted. Yeah. And I read a good joke. It was the irony about the Queen is that everybody was cool with it because she was grandfathered in. And now nobody really likes Charles.
Wow.
I mean, whatever. The one thing about that whole thing that just the fact that an elected official in Canada, they would question his right to serve because he's not willing to pledge allegiance to a king that's not even there are so many steps in there. It's no, you are wrong. You don't do this.
Well,
let the nice elected man.
It's when you think about it's there was either Swiss or Finnish royalty, and the primogenitor heir, the guy, he was just a pilot for KLM or whatever it was. It's okay. He had a regular job. It's he'd go and do ribbon cuttings at the Nobel Prize ceremony, and then he'd go to work. It's all right.
We've got this Half-Life thing. I don't know if this was
about Half-Life. Oh, that
not Half-Life. We talked about Fallout.
I didn't link to that.
I thought that was you.
No, this was someone else. This was Rob, probably.
Nope, not me.
Did I get this out of a different story entirely?
I think you must have gotten it from somewhere else. Yeah, so apparently they're doing a Doom Halo approach with the Half-Life universe as a mod to Half-Life 1 source or something.
Well, this was posted by Chris DeBona at 11:14 a.m. yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. You know what it was? It had Half-Life and new versions. So I mean, you're gonna post, right?
You're going to post that about at the same speed as I'm going to post anything connected to Space Quest.
Oh my gosh, Space Quest.
If you mention Space Quest, I will post it.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah.
Sorry about the noise.
Roger,
I'm messing around with rack screws. They have these new rack screws where they're a lot easier to use. They're I'll show you. See, it's so much easier.
Yeah, look at that. Twist, twist, twist.
Twist, twist, twist. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you've got this this clip. You put the clip in, and then you have this little spreader guy, and then you put your device on it, and then you screw it tight with this guy. So yeah, that's all. Because I'm a little frustrated because I have all these rack nuts and they're all different sizes. So you unscrew one and then you're like, which one was this one? Darn it!
Welcome to Geeks in Space. We're talking about
nuts. They all drop down.
Well, some rack nuts are bigger than others.
That's right.
It's okay, Chris.
Right. As long as the rack nut is snug, it will do the job.
You guys, maybe I'll send you these nuts.
These nuts.
You can get bags of like 100 for
clap, 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 clap.
So I'm just like fidgeting because I have to rework my rack.
I will say there have been in my life many happy moments of replacing screws on computer cases that are like Phillips with thumb screws that you can undo with your fingers. Yeah. And it's just like, it feels so good. It's like, I didn't have to get my tool and it just goes right on. I feel so cool.
Yeah.
The last one that we had on the list is the follow-up to the fisherman story I love that we talk about the fisherman cheating.
Well, I mean, they pled not guilty. Are we supposed to think that they're guilty, Rob? I mean,
those salmon or those walleye filleted their friends and ate the fillets and 1 pound lead weight.
And watched it
naturally.
It's totally natural.
Yeah.
As fish that size would do.
As they have evolved to do.
Mm-hmm.
I should put a Google alert on these guys' names. Man,
because walleye are known for digging through the bottom of the lake in the muck for food, right? Yeah. Where the lead weights would be.
Yep. They're letters. Yeah. This is, I mean, I guess when there's 30 grand involved, you might as well go to court over it, right?
30 grand in that one instance.
In that one instance. I mean, remember these guys were collecting, $250,000.
Like close to
boats,
$500,000.
Like boats were being given to them because they were catching
really nice boats.
Yeah. Like
100K plus.
Rose Boom would like one of those damn boats.
Yeah,
I would take that boat for
sure. In a hot second.
Mm-hmm. Then I would sell it and buy a nice pontoon boat.
You buy something that costs 10% as much and use the rest of the money for heroin.
Yeah.
Or, whatever we decide to do on the lake next year.
Yeah.
I'm not on board with a heroin. Just
all right. That's fair.
That's
fair.
Much,
Now that we've told the authorities that our secret.
I don't think the DNR is into that, man.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Well, we will be following these guys. We will be following this court case at least as closely as one of the 37 cases that Trump is currently tied up in.
Oh goodness.
Oh God. Let's see.
They've got weights in their fish. I loved that video, man. So funny. I'm like, oh, they're really upset with these guys.
Is there any worthy media coming out this weekend?
I'm sure that I saw.
Did either of you guys have an opinion on Halloween Ends?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. There's. Go ahead.
I have that. The new Hellraiser I haven't watched yet. I did watch the new Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, is that any good?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
One of the worst things I've ever seen.
I watched the first Creepers a few weeks ago and actually kind of liked it.
Jeepers Creepers or Creeper?
Creeper. Or
Creeps. Or the Phantom Creeps, the serial from the 1950s.
No, it was the compilation horror movie that they just talked about on Red Light Media.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
I'm getting up Plex and looking to see what it was.
Oh my gosh.
I also have Dracula 2000 to watch.
Yeah, I've watched that. Undead. That's a great one. And not good, but
Dracula 2000.
Oh, Creep Show. That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dracula 2000 is the one with Johnny Lee Miller.
You've never seen Creepshow before?
I had never seen Creepshow.
Creepshow's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
I wouldn't go really good, but a couple of the segments were really good.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I like
even Creepshow 2 is not that bad.
Andor was awesome this week, by the way. It's my favorite episode so far. They did some really cool stuff. And they also just put out their new series, Tales of the Jedi, which is just basically Clone Wars style animation, but it's for Jedi stories before episode 2. So the first one is like an Ahsoka, the birth of Ahsoka, and then the second one is like a 2-parter of stories about Count Dooku before he fell to the dark side.
That means poop, you know that.
Out right now?
Yeah, it's out now.
Out right now?
They're short.
Oh, sweet.
They're short. They're like 15 minutes long each. They're
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
So they released a short clip of Black Panther.
Oh,
the Black Panther movie.
When does that come out now?
In a couple weeks. It's like November 12th or something.
It's a Thanksgiving.
Anyways, so the scene is Riri, who's Ironheart. She's at her dorm room messing around, and so she comes to be collected by Shuri and the Dora Milaje from Walking Dead. It's kind of cute, I admit, and I actually really like the Ironheart storyline in comics, so I'm kind of on board this one.
I hope this is good. I really do. November 10 is the release date.
November 10th.
I should see if we can't get a theater lined up for none of this again.
And there was a movie in 2014. I just happened to get pushed by the algorithm called Life After Beth.
That sounds familiar.
And it's Aubrey Plaza, who I guess comes back from the dead, and she tries to find her boyfriend, and he's moved on, of course, because she's been dead. But I really want to see this.
I think I've seen this.
Really? Is it any good?
I'm trying to remember it, but I just looked up the thumbnail and the poster is familiar. I'm pretty sure I saw this.
Yeah.
The fact that I don't remember it at all probably is a bad sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Dean DeHaan, which is unfortunate. But,
John C. Reilly.
I mean, it's got a hell of a collection.
Yeah, right? Shel Hines, Paul Reiser. Paul Reiser right now is in Reboot, which is
cool.
Is pretty fun on Hulu if you're looking for another, lightweight sitcom. I'm always looking for the show that you can watch when it's 10:45. I'm not quite ready for bed, but I'm not willing to go and watch an hour-long thing.
I have to tell you. There's again, this is 5 years old, right? Let me find the darn link. And it's this droll sort of, she's pals with Charlie Booker and stuff. Here. So it's a character that she plays, and it's just she's clueless, but in a way that's so funny. Like this little short they posted, it's
well, I think you're laboring under a misapprehension, and you probably mean the Soviet Union.
No, it's onion. I saw it on a bit of paper earlier.
Well, it's probably been misspelt, or you can't read very well. But I think that you mean, in historical terms, the Soviet Union, or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
I don't want to be rude, but I think you're mansplaining a bit. Can we stick to the topic of the Soviet onion, please?
It's these, and she interviewed, and it's sort of this is about when Sacha Baron Cohen was going around and playing pranks on people, and she went the other way, where she was just super weird sometimes. And you're like, what is going on here? But it's very funny. This turns into a discussion about turnips, tubers, and onions, and it's just okay, that's where we're gonna go with this. Philomena Kunk, and her series is called Kunk on Earth. So I've been watching that. That's been really fun. It's been hilarious. And then there's a new Gerard, but I know how much you love Gerard Butler.
Oh, yeah. Geostorm.
Geostorm. So this is basically there's a plane, and it's got a criminal on it who's played by the guy who played in The Defenders, Mike Colfer. And they crash, but they crash on some Revolution Island And so all of the passengers are taken hostage, and so they have to get the hostages back from the terrorist freedom fighter guys. And so he and the criminal team up to free the. I mean,
they're gonna muddle.
It's just a muddle. I'm sure it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be like Angel Has Fallen and all those dumb movies. So if you like that kind of thing,
I'm a fan of.
And I admit, I really liked both of the Britain Has Fallen and the America Has Fallen. They were so stupid.
Oh, for sure.
They're fun.
They're Fast and the Furious level dumb.
Oh no, they're they're super dumb,
but like enjoyable.
And they try to be like Air Force One or Die Hard, but it's just like, just keep punching each other. Do what you're good at.
It's just better that
way. Get with the punching.
It's
punching and the shooting. Boop, 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 boop. Okay.
All right. It's Halloween this weekend too, right? So just remember
on Monday.
Check all of your candy for fentanyl.
Rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow fentanyl. I hear they're putting it in the Skittles. Mm-hmm. Taste the rainbow, gentlemen.
Because elementary school kids are often good buyers for fentanyl.
Yeah, that's a good market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you kill them early, then they'll buy. Yep,
yeah. That checks out.
Just got to wait for them to collect a year's worth of allowance.
Then they're yours.
Sweet. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Let's say goodbye to the internet. Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Goodbye, internet.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
I wanted to say goodbye, internet.
Oh, go ahead. You can do it.
All right. Goodbye, internet.
Oh, you did a good job. Thanks.
Doesn't feel the
you
same.
Did a great job.
I know. I'll say it too, and then it'll feel really shameful. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. That was episode 754 of Geeks in Space. Goodbye, internet.